Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crafty Beer Reviews. Today, I will be reviewing Lagunitas West-ified Imperial Coffee Stout. That's right, this is a part of their Scarcity series, and this is the very first time that any of their barrel-aged offerings has actually made it into a bottle. Now, at time of recording, this is a little over 2 months old. Now, you might be wondering, why so old? Well, there's actually two reasons. One, I went for 7 weeks without any beer. If you guys have any questions about that, leave me a comment. I don't want to take up a whole video explaining why I did that. The second reason is this beer is technically 12.1% ABV. Now, if you guys are familiar with Ohio rules, unfortunately, we have a 12% ABV cap on beer. Well, this beer did get shipped to the distributor here, but the state found out it said 12.1% on it. So after a long time of it just sitting in the warehouse, Lagunitas sent them new labels. They got the labels changed to say 12% because, 0.1% difference. Ooh, God, scary. So yeah, we finally got it on the shelves about a month and a half after Lagunitas initially shipped this beer. So barely made it here. Now, I want to have a quick disclaimer too. I did have this beer previously. I actually had it back in, I think it was February during the Winking Lizard Barrel Aged Beer Fest. When I had this on tap, it was the best beer of the night. It blew away many of the beers that I thought were going to be awesome. This was hands down one of my favorites, so I've had it before. Never in the bottle, though. And as you guys can clearly see, I also have some whiskey. Now, they specifically used the High West Double Rye whiskey to age this beer, and it just so happens that High West started distributing to Ohio, so I actually have a small glass of the whiskey that was used to age this beer. I figured I would taste test the beer and then do the whiskey just to see, if I can pick out the components and see exactly how it influenced the beer. Anyways, sorry for the long intro. Without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the aroma. Oh man, up front, definitely a lot of that whiskey. I'm getting some vanilla. Good amount of chocolate, like dark chocolate, milk chocolate. There's almost this cocoa powder kind of smell. Getting a little bit of the oak, but it's not real strong, there's not big tank notes, nothing like that. Definitely getting some nice roastiness. I get a little bit of sweet caramel in the background. Not picking up on a ton of coffee. I get like a light roasted coffee bean far in the background, but it is not in your face. When I had it on tap back in February, it wasn't a coffee bomb, but it was very coffee forward. With this amount of age on it, I'd say the coffee is really aged out of it pretty fast, surprisingly so. But yeah, definitely that whiskey, definitely the chocolate and roastiness smells damn good. Let's go ahead and take our first sip. Oh wow. Oh my god. Up front, a ton of that whiskey. I'm definitely getting some of that rye influence. A little bit of like this caramelization, definitely some sweet caramel, a little bit of toffee malts in there too. I'm getting like this really rich dark chocolate. It's got a little bit of bitterness in there. I'm getting like some cocoa powder. Definitely some sweet milk chocolate too. Very creamy. Really like that. It almost tastes like milk lactose sugar when they use it in milk stouts. Definitely getting some vanilla. Maybe a touch of coconut in there too. Wow. Very nice. I do get a touch of heat on the back end, but for being 12% or 12.1%, really smooth actually. It's got a very creamy body. It's very silky. It just kind of, coats your palate really nice. It's kind of chewy and viscous. It's got that big kind of, just full body that you'd expect from a nice imperial stout. The barrel aging really didn't seem to thin this out at all. This is really well done. Very balanced. I do get a little bit of coffee on the back end. But again, I think out of everything in this beer, it's definitely the least prominent. I'm surprised how fast the coffee fell out of this beer, but really quickly. I get a little bit of like this subtle kind of roasty coffee note, maybe a little bit of like a roasted coffee bean. But as far as the background, you really get that whiskey, the caramel toffee notes, sweet milk chocolate, dark chocolate, some roasty bitterness in there too. Definitely some vanilla, maybe a little bit of coconut like I mentioned. And then definitely a bit of oak on the back end that definitely dries it out quite nicely. Makes it for a really good, easy drinking beer. It's definitely a sipper because there is some heat, but nothing crazy. It's not boozy. It's not alcoholic whatsoever. So very, very nice stuff. All right, so again, surprised the coffee aged so much out of it so quickly, but it's still a great tasting beer. Let's go ahead and check out the whiskey. Oh yeah, so I definitely smell some of that rye, definitely getting some caramel notes, toffee, vanilla, there's some earthiness in there too. Yeah, smells very, very nice. Of course, as you guys can clearly see, I've obviously had a little bit of this, but let's go ahead and take our first sip here. Yeah, yeah, so definitely getting a little bit of that bite from the rye. Definitely some vanilla in there, caramel, a little bit of toastiness. I'm definitely getting, yeah, actually a lot of caramel. A lot of caramel almost verges into like the sweet toffee note in there for sure. Very, very nice though. Yeah, so I'm gonna smell that. Yeah, yeah, you can definitely tell this was the whiskey they used because you do get, after I smell that, and then I smell this, I do pick up on more of the actual rye character that I really wasn't getting too much before. Yeah, same for the beer too, actually. Now that I've tasted that side by side, I see a lot of the comparisons. I mean, definitely a little bit of that bite that this beer has, definitely the caramel and the toffee and that vanilla. Didn't have too much in the way of oak, just like this isn't too strong in the oak department, but nicely done. Really kind of a fun comparison, too. Yeah, very cool stuff. If you guys haven't tried this one, if you like barrel aged beers, go seek it out. And furthermore, if you're rye whiskey drinkers, this one's very, very good. So, in terms of rating, guys, for the beer that's sitting in front of me, I'm going with a 9.4 out of 10. My biggest complaint as of now is the coffee has just faded out so much. Other than that, it's a fantastic barrel aged beer. Clocks in at $9 here. I mean, you are not going to get a basically, in my opinion, minus the coffee, like a KBS level beer in a bomber for $9. No way, no how. Lagunitas brings the quality and the price yet again. Awesome, awesome stuff. If you guys like barrel aged stouts, go check it out. Alright guys, that does it for this beer review. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, I hope whatever you're doing involves good craft beer. See ya.